Hi, I'm Eli Prinsen from hybridvocaltechnique.com. This is a follow-up video today of the Curse of the Baritone, but this is the quest of the baritone. This is a story about me, a true story, okay? Now, as you can tell by my voice, I'm not a tenor. I wasn't born with a high voice. I was born with absolutely no kind of natural talent to sing, okay? When I was young, before I took lessons, the highest I could possibly get my voice to go was between G4 and G sharp 4. Right in there, okay? Now remember that, because that was the chorus of Highway to Hell by AC/DC, and that was me yelling with everything I had. I couldn't go any higher than that, all right? I had the Curse of the Baritone. Oh, you have a low voice. You'll never be able to sing high, okay? A lot of people get told that by teachers. A lot of people that wish they could sing and are like, well, I should be able to do this. Let me take lessons. And then, unfortunately, a lot of people will run into a teacher that'll tell them, no, you're a baritone, you can't sing high. You're going to have to sing songs that are from here to here in range and just get good at singing that. Okay, but it's not true. All right. Now, me, I was one of the lucky ones that found a teacher and told him, gave him my big old Christmas list of what I wanted to achieve and the kind of music I wanted to be able to sing, the range I wanted to have, and we just went to work. He never made a comment about me being a baritone or anything. We just went to work, and I trained with as much determination and dedication as, I could even hope to get out of my students now that I'm a teacher. I really, really wanted it. Okay. So I went from that being the highest note right in here, yelling as hard as I could, to, after a good amount of training, being able to have a range that spanned between 4 and 5 octaves at, 24, 25 years old. Okay. I started when I was 18, and by then I had it. Okay, everything that I had hoped for had 5-octave vocal range. I could sing all of those popular songs that I had been listening to back in the late 80s on the radio. Everybody sang high, so the popular rock metal bands that were radio friendly, like Whitesnake and Dokken and Rat and all these bands, everybody high, 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 high. Everybody was singing high. And I liked stuff like Queensryche and Halloween and Fate's Warning and Maiden, and they sang even higher. So, that was kind of the norm back then. So I did the work, did the training, and then I got good enough to where I joined a band of a group of guys that were just amazing musicians. The lead guitarist could shred like Yngwie Malmsteen. The drummer had the double bass. It was awesome, right? So we were ready to go. We could sing, we could cover any power metal song from back in the day, And then the worst thing that could ever happen to me happened, which, as a singer. Early mid-90s, grunge, the Seattle movement comes in, grunge shows up. Now everybody on the radio, they're phasing metal out of the radio. Metal's starting to go underground. And now you have everybody singing, hey, like grunge, like Eddie Vedder and Pearl Jam, Stone Temple Pilots, Hootie and the Blowfish. Everybody singing low, right? And even though I could do that probably as good or better than anybody out there or locally, it was not what I wanted to do in here, and it just crushed me, because we would show up to get these gigs that we used to get easily. And they were like, sorry, guys, you sound too 80s. You sound too 80s. I'm sorry, you guys are really good, but you sound too 80s. So the sound that I had worked so hard for was now the thing that almost halted my career. Because instead of approaching that with any kind of maturity and seeing any advantage in the fact that I could sing any note on the piano, if I'd have played my cards right, we could have kept going, and just played whatever. But I didn't go that way. I got bitter. I quit singing for a year or so. I started playing rhythm guitar player in a death metal band. Okay. I was bitter. I was mad. I worked hard for that. I achieved it, and then it was like the, my quest was over. The baritone's quest was over. I'd climbed the mountain and reached the top, and there was nothing there. All right. Well, that's how I felt back then. Well, then a few years later, the internet is starting to build up, and you can do more things with music. Things like MySpace shows up, myspace.com, and all of a sudden everybody is, that was really good for musicians back then. That was a huge help in starting to really get some excellent talent finally heard, because people started being able to do stuff themselves and get, recognized. Also, right under my nose, I didn't even realize how huge of a following or how big power metal was getting over in Europe. And it was starting to flood in and trickle into the United States again. So where all these bands went underground, they're starting to show up again. And I'm like, wow, and next thing you know, I'm hanging out with a group of musicians, and these guys they're all younger than me, and they were talking like, I wish we could find a singer that could sing like those old metal singers from the 80s that could sing really, really high, so that we could mix that in with what we're doing with this back then modern in the early 2000s. Okay. And so there I am, and I'm like, hey guys, I can do that, and they're like, what? I'm like, yeah, I can. I have a trained voice. I can sing. I can do what you're talking about. So the next thing you know, boom, my band, The Sacrificed, was born, which was kind of like punkish metal mixed with, Queensryche type vocals. Boom, there we were. So the reason for this whole story is just to let you know, I had a 5-octave vocal range when I was 25 years old and didn't do anything with it because we were two 80s. I didn't even get signed and start releasing albums and joining all the bands that you guys know that I've been in. Sacred Warrior, Deliverance, The Sacrifice, Dream Patrol, all these bands, all these projects I've lent vocals to, all these, all these things that I've done with this voice, before I even, and while I've been teaching. I didn't even start doing this stuff until I was in my late 30s, right? And the voice just kept getting better and better and better and better because I was willing to continue to learn, to continue to, with my own training, never stop learning, never stop pushing, right? And staying dedicated to what I really, really love. So thank goodness that bitterness ended, and I, kind of got my head screwed back on and got around the right group of people and started doing this stuff again and made my dreams come true, So never give up. Never give up on your dreams, right? And genres are going to change. Musical genres are going to change. But you'll be ready to face and be able to sing anything you want to sing, right? As long as you approach it with a good attitude, all right? And then there's a real good chance that the style that you love to sing, that's what's really in your heart, there's both an audience for that somewhere and that it's going to come back around. It's going to come back around. It did for me. So don't think, hey, I have to be good right now or I'll never make it. Living proof, man, was pushing 40 before I ever even got signed, right? So you can do this. You can do it. If you need help with your voice, we'll break the curse of the baritone. If you're a baritone, don't worry about it. Listen to me. I did it. You can do it. Come see me at hybridvocaltechnique.com. I have home study programs that you can use to train your voice on your own. If you need help with private one-on-one instruction, I teach on Skype. And I'm more than willing to help you to achieve your vocal goals and dreams. Thank you. Have a great day.